Hello, beautiful people, and welcome. I just spit everywhere. Okay. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to my channel. My name's Kira. Subscribe if you're new, and without further ado, let's get into today's video. So today I wanted to talk about how to go viral on TikTok. Recently, I have grown my page from this to this, and my most viral video right now has 2.2 million views, I think. Yeah, and I thought I would just kind of talk about some things I've learned during my time on TikTok about how to get your videos out there. Let's get into it. So I came up with a list of tips that I think are useful. Okay, so my first tip, number one, is to use visuals. Whenever you can, TikTok has a lot of different effects that you can use, whether you want to use green screen or you want to use green screen video, or you can play around with the effects, but visuals is what is going to grab people's attention right away, especially because I learned recently that most people, when they're going through social media, whatever it may be, most people are going through their phones on silent. So if you grab people with an image right away, it's very effective because some people aren't even listening to what you're saying, they're just looking, if that makes sense. And it will make a world of a difference. That is literally my biggest tip, is to use green screen whenever possible. Because a lot of what I do on TikTok involves presenting information or pictures or talking about people, situations, whatever. Anything you're talking about, if it's picturable, show it. The reason I like TikTok is because you can video reply to a comment. So if a comment asks, show us this, do a video on this, I can video reply to that comment, and then I can research whatever topic they ask me to look up and just present the information visually. And because you've gone out of your way to do that, even though you're not really doing a lot of work, literally, one of my most popular videos that has over 1 million views was so easy. I had done a video talking about women's beauty standards, and somebody commented, do one on men's beauty standards. I literally looked up men's beauty standards throughout time. Looked at the first article, looked at the second article, picked which one I liked better, screenshot, present, talked about it, done. Super easy, but then you've put together a valuable video. That brings me to tip number 2, which is value. So you hear people talk about this a lot. You hear people talk about on social media, you need to be making content that gives value to people. But I don't see a lot of people talking about what that value means. And I think value is very vague. So I'm gonna tell you what I have found value to mean, especially on TikTok. So on TikTok specifically, even if you post something, it's interesting because sometimes the more controversial your post is, the more views it will get, because your algorithm will boost if you're getting negative comments too. Does that make sense? I'm not saying to put out a video just because you think it's gonna make people angry, but I'm saying if you happen to be somebody like me who talks about oppressive structures, you're probably going to get a lot of hate. And it might be discouraging in the beginning, but it will help you in the end, is what I'm going to say. But my videos add value because they spark conversations. I know that's where my value lies, or I'm saying an experience that somebody else has had, and then that makes them feel less alone. That's where my video content derives its value from. But you need to find your own way of creating value, and it has to be valuable to you as well, because authenticity is really important. So if you're doing something, if you're just doing a trend, a lot of times you're going to be able to tell if somebody is really just doing that trend because they think it's a trend and they think it's gonna get a lot of views. And not to say that you will never get a lot of views by doing a trend, but your heart has to be in it. Does that make sense? Your heart has to be in it. So you need to find what you love. You need to find what you love to talk about, what you love to research, whatever you want to do. Or maybe you have a special talent, or maybe you have a business or a clothing line or something, I don't know. Or maybe you do art. There is literally a space for every single type of person to create content on TikTok. I promise you. I've come across like literature pages and they just talk about their favorite books and talk about their favorite lines from poems and stuff like that. Like you can really do anything and you can get super nichey, but you don't have to. And I want to emphasize that. I hate how much emphasis on the internet there is about finding your niche. You have to find that one thing and then stick to it and beat it till it's more than dead. I don't subscribe to that idea. I don't think you need to just do one thing for the rest of your life on your content. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Obviously, like, you want to be consistent in that you don't want to contradict yourself. But it's okay if you're like, you hop over here and then over here and over here, because all of those things are part of you. And I personally did subscribe to the whole like niche thing. I need to make a different page for everything. And I was like, you know what? That's stupid. Especially on TikTok, that's stupid. Let me tell you why. TikTok people rarely are going to your actual profile and like looking at your whole page. I mean, people obviously will do that, but you can follow people just from the For You page. So people are just clicking the plus button when they see you. They don't know what else you do a lot of times. So maybe you have people who follow you because you do yoga, and then you have people who follow you because you sing. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't have to be, and a lot of times the algorithm won't push content to people that they think that person won't like it. So your yoga people might not even see your singing stuff, and the singing people might not even see your yoga stuff. Does that make sense? Don't get caught up in the niche mentality, especially for TikTok. I think other things it might be a little bit more important, but TikTok, it's like, it really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. And I feel like people waste so much of their time like brainstorming, because people make TikTok and content creation seem so complicated, and like you have to have everything figured out before you start. You don't have to have anything figured out before you start. I had nothing figured out. I did this by accident. This was an accident. I had videos go viral by accident, and then I was like, oh, maybe I have something here. Maybe I should like lean into this more. And that was purely coincidence. But I wasn't niching. I was not niching. I was just being me. And that is the best way to do it. So yes, find your own value. Find what is valuable to you. Find how you can give value to others, how you can either help others achieve a goal, help others feel less alone in whatever you're talking about, whatever you want to do. Find what works for you and what is valuable to you. Because if it's valuable to you, you will do it more and you will enjoy doing it, and that will come across in your videos. Tip number 3 is to use your resources and pay attention. What I mean by that is, so resources, TikTok has a lot, like I said before, TikTok has a lot of effects. So you're gonna wanna check those out and utilize that, as well as their sounds. So TikTok sounds, everybody says like if you use TikTok's music, it will push your video more. I think that is maybe to an extent true, but you don't need to do that all the time. But if you are going to be using music, check out what is like TikTok viral. So when you add music to your song, or when you add sound to your video, you can go to the, well, first it'll have the recommended, and then you go to the search, and then it'll show like different playlists, and just go to the TikTok viral one and it'll have like a top 10. Kind of like on Netflix, how it's like top 10. Use one of those. If you are gonna use music on your video, that's what I do. But also, and this goes more to the paying attention, pay attention to what is getting engagement, pay attention to what the trends are, not always to copy those trends, but if you already have an idea. So for me, my content is, you know, obviously a lot of talking about race, talking about feminism and oppressive structures, whatever. If you can fit your message for whatever that video may be, you don't have to have a consistent message through all your content, but for whatever that video is, if you can find a way to fit your message into a trend, that's harmony. That's harmony, and that is gold. You can't always do that, but if you can, harmony, great, go with it, run with that. 'Cause it's like, people love familiarity. Familiarity is one of your best ways to get people to watch your video, engage them from the jump, because people are like, oh, I know this trend. Whether it's, oh, I know this sound, and they're gonna make the narrative of the content fit the sound and say these lyrics mean this, whatever. Whether it's that or whatever it is, it's an entry point for people who are strangers to feel more familiar with your content, if that makes sense. Or sometimes it's useful just to see what's going on, what people are talking about, what issues or news, like celebrities, what is getting engagement, what are people interested in, and then take that and use it in your own way. Don't copy it, but make it fit you. So for me, like my bachelor video, which is the most viewed video on my page so far, I was inspired to do it because I saw a girl on my FYP talking about how there was the first Black Bachelor, which I didn't even know that at the time. And she just went and got pictures of all of the bachelors throughout history and just rated them on a scale of 1 to 10 for their attractiveness. And I was like, oh, that's really clever. Like, that's really smart. And I knew I didn't want to do that because she had already done that. But I was like, Black Bachelor, like, there's something there. Like, something in my mind is going off. There's a light bulb there. Something's going on. There's something there that I can do. And, you know, you marinate. You let it marinate for a day or two. And then it may come to you in the shower. It may come to you at dinner. It may come to you whenever. But the idea will come to you. And go with it. Let your intuition drive you. Okay? When you have a good idea, go for it. Even if you've never seen anybody do it before, even if you're not sure if it's gonna do well, it often will. Creativity, especially if you have like an intuitive idea, go with it because it's unique. Nobody else is gonna have that idea, and only you can present that idea in the best way that you can and the best way that you communicate. So yeah, I came up with the idea. I was like, well, I wonder if the Black Bachelor, the first Black Bachelor in history, I wonder if he dates Black women. Let me go look. That's it. And it was easy. And it was just an idea. And it's so interesting. This is another thing that I love about TikTok, the way ideas can become something and become these big conversations and get millions of views. It's like, it's making something out of nothing. Use your resources and use the internet. Use Google. Use it for your content. Somebody asks you something, go to Google, screenshot pictures and answers of it, and like use your information. Use what's it called? Resources, scholarly resources, you know, to support your argument. It doesn't have to be just you talking. It can be you and all of these scholarly people who have proved your point already. And also, 9 times out of 10, your point will be made way better if you have support from like people who have actually written about this / made stuff about this, because I can give the same message. I can say it just to the camera, right? It's just me, that comes off as this is my opinion. Or I can show you articles and stuff on it, and it's the same thing I'm saying. But because now there's research and like it seems more professional, scholarly in a sense, now people don't argue with me. That's really it. It's a nice way to just kind of get people off my back. I'm like, you're not gonna believe me when I say it, but if I show you these pictures, you're gonna believe it, and then you won't troll me. So, pro tip to avoid trolls. And my last tip is to use captions. Put closed captionings on your video. It takes time. Don't always do it if you don't always have the time. I don't always do it because I don't always have the time, and sometimes it's just a quick video that you want to put out. But if you write out the closed captioning for your video, it's automatically going to get way more engagement because, like I said before, most of these people are watching your videos on silent. So if you're talking, they oftentimes can't hear you. So if they can read what you're saying, you're gonna get more views just simply by the number of people who are watching videos on silent. It makes it more accessible for them, as well as obviously people who are hard of hearing. So it makes your videos more accessible in general, which is always great, but it's also just a great way for people to watch your videos like as they're doing other things, and it doesn't require their full attention, because if something requires somebody's full attention for them to get the point, they might not watch it. because you don't always have people's full attention. So you have to take what you do have of their attention, which is always going to be their eyes first, and work with that. Yes. However, I don't always do it. And it's not 100% rule of thumb. Also, that's why I like to use visuals and the green screen, because if I'm presenting a topic and it's got a picture and words on it, then I don't have to write the caption because there's already words describing it. I can just say stuff, which is amazing and less work for me. If it's just a picture, then I will probably put closed captions as well. So yeah, I think those are all of my tips for TikTok and how to get your videos out there. So let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any questions down below, and comment your experiences if you have any. I'd love to hear them. I'm very curious. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Comment a purple heart if you made it to the end of the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share this video with somebody who needs it. Follow me on Instagram at Kira Bria, and TikTok at Kira Bria, and Twitter at Kira Bria. Oh yeah, and listen to my podcast. I'll link it down below. Awesome. I also teach, I never talk about that on here, but I teach yoga on Zoom every Saturday at 8:45 a.m. PST, 11:45 a.m. EST, and you can sign up. Just DM me on Instagram if you want to sign up. So yeah, and that's every Saturday. Yeah, so thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye.